good afternoon. Welcome. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to what do we call this? That's what you call a blooper. But I didn't forget. Jokes on you. Welcome to From Dream to Reality live on Thursday, March 17th, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Is every time that we come every third Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. We have an awesome program scheduled for you today. But first, I just wanted to all of you who have not had an opportunity to do so, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to that particular website right there, and I want you to register. I want you to register right now. When you go to that link, as a matter of fact, I got something better for you. I'm going to show you this on the screen. That QR code, I want you to scan that QR code, go to that website, and I want you to register. The reason I want you to register is because we have some awesome giveaways that I'm going to share with you at the end of the show that's going to help you on your home ownership journey. Some nice tools that I put together just for you, the first time home buyer, that you and your family can use, to share with your friends, and empower your network to help them also get ready for home ownership. Go ahead and scan that QR code. It's going to take you to this website here. And once you do that, it's going to look like this. Bring your website up for just a moment. There you go. It's going to look just like that. When you get to that website, of course, there's a link there where you can watch. Other links here where you can watch as well. This one here, this is going to be the last episode in the series that we're talking about homeownership readiness. I have no idea. We're discussing the four C's of lending. And so if you want to get caught up to where we are, we're going to do a bit of a review today. If you want to get caught up to where we are, you can go to this website right here. Once you're on the page, copy and paste that to your browser. And fill this information out. You want to know if you're a first-time home buyer. You want to know if you have a home to sell. We work with partners in the industry, and we'd love to be able to connect you with someone who's professional and knowledgeable in the area of home ownership, and so that you can achieve your home ownership or home selling goal, right? And then hit submit, and we'll get that. We'll get that list of all of you who are interested in getting that free material that we have set up for you. Awesome. Now, we're going to do a bit of a review today, and before we get into the new material, today we're going to be discussing the collateral portion of the four C's of lending. So you have uh, capacity, which talks about your ability to take on new debt. You have capital. What kind of capital are you working with? What cash reserves do you have, and what are their sources? Then we have credit. What does your credit look like? What kind of condition is it in? Fantastic, because it needs to work, right? And that's another reason you want to register today, because some of the tools that we have, one of them is outstanding. It is a checklist that you can use to go through your credit report, and then match up the answers to the red flag checklist, which is also included. So if you have any items that's on your red flag list, those are the things that you want to get fixed. You won't know until you register, so I can send you that material absolutely free. All right? Outstanding. So let's get started for today. Now, the name of this podcast is called From Dream to Reality. What we're doing is just bringing information to you, and I'll tell you about our actual mission statement in just a moment. But our goal really is kind of empower you all the way around. That's why we're doing this. We want to empower you. We're talking about the responsibilities of home ownership, stewardship, and counting the cost. There's a responsibility that you're going to be taking on when you become a homeowner, and you want to count the costs now and get your mind set in a place of being a good steward over that. You want to take care of your property, and so it'll be ready for you when you want to sell it, or you want to refinance it, things like that. Use it to build wealth. We'll be talking about that later on in our series as well. So here's our mission statement. Why are we doing this? Our goal is to provide information that provokes thought and conversation about what it takes to achieve and successfully maintain home ownership, thereby empowering home buyers to take action consistent, right? Keyword, take action consistent with turning your home buying dream into a successful home owning reality, right? That's why we do it. That's our why, right? No strings attached. That's our why. Who am I? Who am I in the whole grand scheme of things? And why should you listen to me? Number one, my name is Sean Wilson. I am a sales manager with New American Funding here in the Waldorf branch. I have just about 15 years experience in the mortgage industry. I started in September of 2007. Someone could have warned me because I come out of human services, working with at-risk youth in Baltimore City into the mortgage business. They don't go together exactly, right? And so I had a different mindset in the mortgage crash. I found out that those who came before me weren't such good stewards over the opportunity on both sides of the fence, right? And so the, those who came after them had to suffer. I made it through, made it through, and I built up a set of wisdom um, that I want to pass on to you, that's going to empower you, right? So who am I personally? Number one, I'm a homeschooling father, married, 23 years in, right? Awesome children, five of them. Some of my hobbies include performance tuning cars. I love working on my own vehicles. Years ago, I thought I would get into the mobile repair business, but I found out very quickly that I did not want to work on my own car. So I cut that down and went on to something else. And then I am a percussionist, right? I've been doing this over 40 years. 40 years, I'm pretty good at it. I think what I'll do is when I start off my home buying series next quarter, next month, April, third Thursday of April, maybe I'll open up the show with a little free question form. How about that? With the pen, you got to register, and then you got to send me a comment to let me know if you want to see that. All right? If I get enough comments, then I'll start the show off with my drum. How's that? Awesome. All right. So when we're talking about, oh, before we get to the next step part, I want you to understand what's going on for the rest of the year. So we're in the theme that's called homeownership readiness. I have no idea. We're talking about thinking like a lender, four C's of lending. That's what we're going to be finishing up today. Second quarter theme is destination homeownership. First things first, and we're going to be helping you determine your path to homeownership. Third quarter is make it pretty. Now you purchased that house. We're talking about home decor ideas, landscaping tips, protecting your property, solar energy. We partner with Vivid Solar. So that's coming up. Everyone who closes with New American Funding will get information about how you can protect your home and get awesome products from that company. The series is called Your Home, Your Style. So to help you kind of determine that, get some ideas about it. And then fourth quarter is one of my favorite quarters. Is we're talking about cash cow or money down the drain, tax strategies, wealth building. So how can I use my equity to build wealth? So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming on really exciting. We're bringing professionals in these areas to talk to you about that. So now, when we're talking about stewardship, I want to make sure that we're on the same page. So let's define it so that you know what I'm talking about when I say stewardship, right? It's the act of taking care or managing something. For example, the property you're going to buy, organization, money, valuable, right? For today's purposes, we're referring to property. And so in that stewardship, that mindset are a set of responsibilities that go along with that, that, that allows that or contributes to your mindset of being a good steward over the property that you purchase, right? And understanding the responsibilities of a home ownership is really simply to maintain it, right? And this is a review from last week and a review from January. And so when we're saying maintain it, what does that mean? We're talking about structural foundation repairs, systems, heating and cooling, electrical systems, flooring, drywall, plumbing, and then you see the list there, right? And so We're talking about counting the cost. What does that really mean, right? What I mean when I say counting the cost is if someone counts the cost of something that has happened or will happen, they consider the consequences, right? So understanding that part of that is you kind of, okay, I'm going to take on this home ownership opportunity. And I want to be a good steward. So there's some costs and some sacrifices that go along with it, right? You don't just kind of move in and just kind of go. You want to make sure that that's why you do a home inspection in the beginning. You want to make sure you're starting out in a good place, right? So that's part of it. You're probably already thinking about that. All I'm doing is bringing it up and saying, hey, let's add this to our thought process. Make sure we're going into it with eyes wide open. And so a part of that counting the cost and a part of that stewardship responsibility, I want to encourage everyone to build your personal Rolodex, personal company Rolodex, and do it now. Do it today. Before you sign a contract, before you fill out a loan application, before you go and look at a home, you want to build your Rolodex. Insurance and warranty companies, you want to look at roofing companies, you want to look at structural and foundation engineers, and look at electricians, um, heating and cooling companies, flooring, windows and siding, plumbing and plumbing companies, as well as septic, sewer, landscaping and pavement and pest control. Have these numbers, these companies available. Do the due diligence up front. So if something happens 2, 3, 4 years into your home ownership experience, you're not caught you're caught off guard because you didn't expect it, but you're not bewildered, you're not alarmed. You have done the research up front because Sean told you or encouraged you to do this up front and you did it. And so some of the areas or some of the sources that you can tap into to get good names for these categories is family and friends, people that own homes already. Who do they use when things go up? You can check out the Meetup app. While New American Funding does not endorse the Meetup app, I've used it personally, and it's a great resource to locate services and goods that you may be interested in. Right? Local REIT groups, investment or real estate investors, they use all of these vendors, and a lot of times they use the same vendors, they use the same name, the same company. That company has built a reputation within that investment or real estate investment community, and so they may be a source to consider. Angie's Angie's List does a great job of compiling a list of contractors and professionals in these categories. So that might be a source as well. And of course, you want to reach out to your real estate agent, the realtor that you're going to be working with. Now, no matter where you get these company names and these contacts from, the number one thing you want to do once you get the name is that you want to confirm the licensing, the bonding, and insurance and references of these companies. You want to make sure you got a really good list. If you're investing thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars into a property, and so you want to make sure you have a qualified competent professional. So take the time to get these outstanding, outstanding. So when we're talking about thinking like a lender, of course you're not a lender, but there's some key areas that I'm going to present to you today that you can use and tap into as you're putting on that mindset of going to a lender in the best possible position that you can. Okay? Thinking like a lender, number one, will help you understand how lenders determine your credit worthiness. Right? Credit worthiness is just us looking at your finances and your credit and saying, okay, this person can purchase, basically what that means. And in that is we're looking at your capacity to take on new debt in addition to what you already have. Can you do that? And if you can, how much can you fit in your already established budget? Capital. How much money do you have? What resources do you have to get money? One of the things that are allowed in the home buying process is gifts from family and friends. We call them donors on our side of the fence. On your side of the fence, family, friends. When they give it to you, it's a gift, right? You can tap into that network and they can give you funds. So that's part of your capital stack. But we also are looking at, okay, what you're bringing to the table. Another component that's allowed is down payment assistance. what programs do you qualify for? You can add that to your capital stack as well. It doesn't contribute to your personal reserve. We'll get into reserves and how that plays into it in our next series starting in April when we talk about home credit. What does your credit look like? What's the condition of the credit? What is the history look like? We'll break some of that down in our review today. Um, Collateral. What is the collateral? What does the property look like? Is it sufficient? Is it safe for you to inhabit, for you to live in with your family? Are there some flaws or defects in the property that need to be addressed before you purchase? Does it need to be renovated? We'll talk about renovation loans in our home buying series as well. So starting off, we're going to review credit. This is a review from February the 17th. As a matter of fact, what I want to do really, really quickly is I want to bring up my Facebook page where you can go and review. Uh, so if you go to my Facebook page, my name is Sean Wilson. You see it right there, and then you scroll down my page. So you see from Dreams to Reality Live, February 17th. Go there, you'll be able to review and pick up um, the series before today to get caught up with. Okay, so make sure we do that. So when we're talking about credit, we're talking about credit history. Excuse me. We're talking about your ability to secure a loan. Um, it can hinder the process. It can hinder it depending on what's contained on your credit report. Things like late payments, collections, charge-offs, judgments, tax liens, bankruptcy. All of these can interfere or inhibit you possibly if they have not been addressed from you purchasing a home. There's a more severe type of derogatory credit, tax liens, bankruptcy, and foreclosures. They may have loan options, or you may be limited to your loan options based on the period of time. We call it the lockout period. The lockout period is just simply a period of time that occurs after the derogatory event has occurred that you have to wait until you'll be able to purchase a loan. On our side of the fence, we call it lockout period. Not everybody calls it that, but that's where I learned the term once I got on this side of the fence, lockout period. We can talk to you about what those lockout periods are as well. Now, lockout periods in general, they vary depending on the loan program between 2 years and 7 years, right? So you can be locked out as little as 2 years for getting an FHA loan or VA loan, or as much as 7 years from getting a conventional. So those are the kind of the time, all right? And so we're getting deeper into credit. We're talking about credit score. There are some components that make up that credit score. It's kind of brackets that make them up depending on the history, the type of account that you have. And here's a breakdown of the category or range of good to poor, right? So you want to be in the red or orange area. That's the area you want to be in. That's the area you want to be in to get the best loan program possible. We'll talk about that more in our home buying series next month. You definitely want to register to get the notification. I want you to be a part of it, right? The other thing I wanted you to understand is that better score equals better rate and better mortgage insurance. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you to the internet today, and I'm going to show you how that works. This is a very elementary version. Our loan system is pretty sophisticated and they take a deeper dive. But here's how you can understand what I'm talking about. Let's take it to the web. And if you have the internet with you, you can follow me. If you want to, I'm going to take you live here to bankrate.com. Right, you want to go to bankrate.com. Right, so when you go to bankrate.com. This is what we're going to do. Right? So we're teaching today. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. Um, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to home purchase. Go to the home purchase tab. First thing you want to pay attention to, two things. You want to pay attention to this six pieces of information, or six pieces of information, and then look at the interest rate. So they're going to tell you you can get a 2.625 interest rate, right? And one is point off, but I did not, fully disclose that up front. Let's enter this information. Let's say you're looking to purchase and you're looking to buy, and I'm just going to use the zip code, so 725, right? And then let's say you're looking to purchase $350,000 house. I want you to watch the lender and the rate change as I enter this information. Already, it went from 6 to having a 2.6% interest rate. Now it's 2.7. And I just entered three pieces of information. Let's go put the down payment in. Let's say it's a FHA loan, right? 3.5% down. Okay. It just changed again. It just went up again. Let's say you have a credit score of, let's say, 620 to 639. Those categories come in, right? All of a sudden now you can't get a rate in the 2% range according to this website, and you got to pay points to get that. They're charging you 2 points, right? To get that, right? And then this one is a default 30-year fix. You're not going to do a default 30-year fix. Some of these are 15 years. So let's show FHA loans. All right, 15-year fix, and let's go 30. We got 30-year FHA loans there. Now all of a sudden, you're almost at 4%. Some rates are even almost 5%. This is my point. Your scenario, your purchase scenario determines the interest rate that you get by and large. Yes, the industry sets guidelines. But I want you to understand that if you're going to purchase, where you're going to purchase, the purchase price, your down payment, your credit score, and the type of loan. 15-year, less risky, 30-year, more risky. Why? Because it's a longer term, so the lender has to get paid. Let's just do one thing. It's going to change the credit score. Watch. Boom! All of a sudden, you got a better interest rate. Well, I hope that this has been helpful. And you can go to that website anytime you want, and you can check it out. So, all right, now here's where it gets really important. Pay attention to this. Payment history. Your history, specifically within the last 24 months, is the most important history in your credit life, right? Because that has the greater emphasis or indicator of how you're going to pay your debt going forward, including the new loan, right? Yes, things happen in a person's life that causes a derail from the normal history, and you go from 800 down to 500 because of whatever the life event. But understand there needs to be some work done to get it back to where you need to be. And when you call me, I'm going to help you with that. Here's one of the things that you can probably influence or use as a technique to help with your score, is to make sure that you maintain a healthy debt credit limit credit balance ratio. Ideally, 30%. You'll hear some folks in the industry say a different percentage than that. I've seen 30% to be the sweet spot. It range between 10% of the limit and 30% of the limit being the sweet spot. $300 credit card limit, $90 is should be be your max or treat $90, 30% of 300 as your limit, right? And doing that over time will cause your score to increase. Even if you have derogatories on there, it will begin to overcome those as you go over time, right? That sweet spot, um, credit bureaus kind of look at you as being responsible, right? And they look at that balance that you have or that limit availability of credit. They look at that as a resource, right? And they reward you. From simplifying the process for understanding sake, they reward you with points when you do that on an extended period of time. So here's the other matrix that you can kind of read through it. The credit matrix, as you get down the scale, has less and less impact while it's still important. But the two things that you can control, the payment history and the amount of credit you owe, particularly in revolving debt. And if you want, we can do a credit analysis. I'll show you how to get that to the board. All right. Hopefully this is helpful. Just kind of doing a review of what we did. All right. So let's look at this. We'll talk about derogatory credit and inquiry, the lifespan. I hear all the time, how long is collective sale my credit? How long is a judgment sale my credit? So I looked that up. This is my FICO experience. This is what I found. Judgments no longer appear in the credit report. Lenders pull them as part of an additional report that we're required to have. We are responsible to accurately determine your ability to repay. Search is called APR rule. Ability to repay. You have to determine that. You need to know if there are any judgments. Right? Collection, 7 years. Charge off, 7 years. Bankruptcy, 10 years. Hard credit inquiry, 2 years. But within 6 months, they begin to have less and less impact on your score. Tax liens also, like judgments, they no longer appear on your credit, but the lender is required to make sure that they don't exist. Right? Undisclosed debt is what's concerned. Okay? And then late payment also. So let's watch. Outstanding. Great information, right? So as we move on, continuing our theme of thinking like a lender, we've in a previous session we covered capacity. If you go to February 17th on my Facebook, like I told you, go down to dreams to reality. February 17th, click on that. Go to capacity and we'll go to capital. And we just finished up credit. Now we're going to get into new information for today. All right, so collateral, what is it? Collateral is simply the property that you pledge as security for the debt. Okay, sir, I have this watch. If you give me $500, I'll give you my Rolex watch. You can hold it, and then when I bring back your $500, I want to get it back. So that's commonly an exchange that you will have for, like, say, a pawn shop, right? You go and you need money, you take money to the pawn shop, and you give you money. You have time to pay on that those goods, and then you get your goods back. Same thing you do with railway. Okay, Mr. Railway Company, I like to get this out. Here, I'm gonna give you that to you. I'm gonna give you some money. With account to be collateral for the payment, for the balance that I owe you. Once I pay that balance, I get that back. Same thing for the house. All right, Mr. Seller, I want to buy your house. I'll give you 300,000. Here's my deposit. Mr. Lender, if you give me the 299,000 that I need buy this house, you can put a lien against it, and now I will get the keys to the house. I'll pay you a monthly payment. You're pledging the collateral to the lender as security for the debt, for the money that they give you. In most cases, in the case of a mortgage, the collateral simply is your house. Generally, lenders will make loans on residential property, which is identified as a one family or up to a four family. So we're talking about one unit, four unit. One unit is simply a one family house or a single family house. A two unit is a duplex, three unit triplex, four unit quad, right? Or apartment building. And these are the different types. We kind of went through that single family home. It can be townhouses and it can be a detached home. It just simply means that one family lives in that building that we call the house. Multifamily could be one family and another family side by side in a duplex, or upstairs and downstairs in a condo scenario. A condominium can be either apartment style or townhouse style. Planned unit development, new construction, they planned out that community, and more than likely there's going to be a homeowners association involved with that community. Manufactured homes is simply they built the house somewhere else in a puzzle format. They brought that puzzle to the site, they prepared the site, and they built the house on that site. Right? Requirements are a bit more stringent on condominiums and manufactured homes. Some planned unit development and additional guidelines regarding these types of properties also exist as well. So let's take a look at what they look like. Single family homes. It also could be a multi-family home. In certain areas, investors have turned a single family home into a multi-family, rent out rooms, Airbnb, for example. That's a multifamily. That's a three-unit multifamily. You would necessarily buy that building necessarily, or you could buy it as long as you live in one of the units. You can buy an apartment building with a residential loan. You live in one of the units and get rent from the other two units, the other three units. And then this is an example of what a condo could look like. A condo could be apartment style, or it could be a townhouse style. Okay, that's also an example of a regular townhouse and a planned unit development. So you could have a townhouse in a planned unit development and it be a condo. This is an example of a manufactured home. They built it somewhere else, and they bring it to the site and they put the puzzle together, tie it to the foundation, and they buy it. This is another example of a manufactured home. This one is not eligible for normal uh, conforming finance. You would need to get a mobile home loan. This is considered a single wide manufactured home. And it may or may not be secured to the concrete slab that you have. Hopefully that's helpful. Now, let's take a look at it. When you're talking about collateral, lenders are concerned with number one, the value of the property, the condition of the property, and does the property need repairs to be habitable, right? When you're searching for a home, you want to make sure that you're concerned with about the value, the condition, and is the house habitable as well. Understand that choosing the right home may take some time, especially in this market. There are more people wanting to buy than there are homes to be bought, right? It takes time, but the wait can be worth it in most cases. You can find best match to your particular situation. Here's a diamond in the rough could be the opportunity, right? Beware of buying an older home and need some or a lot of repairs. You want to fit that into your budget. However, there are loan programs that will include the cost. So we have go in more detail about this next quarter. We talk about the home buying process. We'll break down renovation loans where we have FHA or government federal housing administration loans or full 3K. We have a standard and unlimited version. We'll talk about that next quarter. Then we have the conventional under the Fannie Mae umbrella called Fannie Mae Home Style, right? That's a renovation loan as well. These loans will give you the purchase price plus the repair cost minus the down payment as long as the purchase price and the repair cost, including the plans and permits, fit within the value or appraised value of the property. Okay? And your lender, your loan officer will help you determine that. Give me a call and I will help you determine that. My number is 443-540-6069. All right, home inspection. Super, 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 super important. Important. Sellers, seller has set up your offer. So now you wrote the contract with your agent, you can pre-approve already, wrote the contract, submitted it. Seller likes your offer, right? They accepted your offer. Um, Now it's time to do what we call a whole house home inspection as soon as you can get it scheduled, right? Because there's a limited time to be able to cancel those arrangements based on what you find in the appraisal. However, the market we're currently in, unfortunately, because of the demand is so high, home sellers have more options um, to sell their homes than they've ever had before. Since the demand is so high, so you may not have that ability to cancel. You still want to have a good conversation with your seller, with your real estate agent. Make sure that the contract is written based on your specific needs, what you're looking for. You may not want to submit an offer on a property that needs work, knowing that there may be multiple offers on that property and yours may not get accepted. You never know. Have the conversation. Confirm the home inspector that you choose. Generally, your real estate agent will make a referral. The referral person that they make, that person generally has done business with them before and have a proven track record. If you also want to confirm that you're certified, licensed, and experienced, it helps to ensure that they know what to look for when they're going through the house, right? Whole house inspection will report the following. Will provide you with a report that points out all the important facts about the condition of the house, including and not limited to the roof, heating and cooling systems. There are those systems again. Talk about it being a steward of your home, right? Cooling system. Unless you have an opportunity to practice before you fit. Um, Signs of water leak, insect damage, foundation, and more. It will alert you of repairs that may be required or at least considered prior to closing. Right? What does that basically mean? That basically means that if a repair shows up in the appraisal, more than likely the lender that you're dealing with is going to require them to be repaid. That cannot repair, fix. And then they will have to go back out and confirm that it's been done. All right. You need to know about the structural condition of the home and the types of renovations or repairs you expect to immediately make or sometime down the road. You want to know that up front. That home inspection is important. Outstanding. Awesome. So next up is the appraisal. Okay, so once you get the home inspection, you're satisfied, okay, this house is pretty cool, I'm ready to move forward. Or wait a minute, there's a lot to be done. Let's see how much house is really worth. Um, what repairs we can improve, we change the loan from a regular conventional loan to a Fannie Mae home style renovation loan. Do that, is that possible? Whole house is in great shape. So that home inspection will help you confirm which way uh, to go. So next up is the appraisal. So the appraisal, we order the as lenders, we order the appraisal. The appraiser, yeah, the appraiser is completed by an independent licensed appraiser who ideally is from the area where the house is located. So they're familiar with the area, they're familiar with the market conditions. They determine the fair market value compared to similar houses that have already been sold in that neighborhood, right? They're required to note any repairs that they see that need to be completed. These repairs may need to be completed before the loan closes, because the lender may require it. It kind of depends. Does it meet the lending guideline, and they're familiar with um, some of the lending guidelines that relate to the property and the condition being able to inhabit it uh, safely, the family of the applicant. And so they'll make the note accordingly, and then we respond on your behalf, say, Mr. Seller, not sell that house to my buyer without you fixing these problems first, so that my buyer receives a property that's safe for them. That's what that says, right? Contrary to what you hear in the marketplace, because it may interfere with the sales process. What's number one and important is that you get a home that's safe for you and your family. All right. So, any questions about that, call me directly, and I will coach you on that. If the repairs are required, the appraiser will revisit the property or repairs. The appraiser will revisit the property to make sure that the repairs have been made and made according to the guidelines, and they have to issue a rating of at least good for the person who does the next step of the process. Hope that helps. Appraiser is an appraisal is not a substitution for thorough home inspection. You don't want to count on and you don't want to receive the commentary saying, okay, the lender's going to get an appraisal and the appraisal may show anything that needs to be concerned about. No. You want the inspection, whether you decide not to let that inspection interfere with your buying process or not, by putting certain contingencies in your contract, you opt not to, still need to get a home inspection because I want you to know what's going on with the property. And that's a part of your being a good steward and counting the cost of buying a particular property that we talked about earlier. You want to get it regardless, whether or not it impacts your loan or your purchase process or not. At least you'll have the information for yourself. You walk in with eyes wide open, no surprises in the process. Don't rely on the appraisal to identify any causes. All right, now, um, self check, self check. Come on now. I want you guys to tell me in the chat, send me an email, reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, Instagram. Instagram is Green Reality Live. You need to answer lenders and creditors. So the four primary factors in determining your credit worthiness. What are they? Okay, time's up. You're right. You said it. You did it. Capacity. Talk to you about your ability to take on new financial debt monthly. Capital. What are your capital sources? And what is your reserves you have left over after the purchase? If that purchase is closed, how much reserves you have left over? That talks about the capacity of your capital as well. And credit. What is your credit condition? What is your history score? How have you been managing your credit over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Collateral. Is it sufficient to support the loan? So we attach a loan for the purchase price minus the down payment to the collateral that we chose, right? Can we do that? Is it sufficient? Is it safe for you and your family? So here's some of the benefits of home ownership: improve financial health as well, equity in your home, you build wealth, right? Possibility of qualifying for federal tax cuts, ability to increase your home value with renovation or upgrade, right? Increase your net, that also increases your net worth also by doing that. Um, Achieving the American dream of homeownership. Those are some of the benefits. And I probably didn't list yours. The most important benefit of homeownership is the one that is important to you. What's in your heart? What does that say to you? What does that do for you? Right? How does that impact your family? How better off would your family be if you were a home? So we're going to discuss that next quarter. That's it. That's the end of it right now. Um, Yeah, if you're in the chat, I can answer some questions really quick. If not, you can reach out to me later on with your questions and let me know if there's any concept that we discussed today that you don't understand or you're already in the home buying process, you're not sure about what you're being told. No strings attached. I'll answer your question. Not a problem at all. My heart's desire is that you know. I want you to know. Of course, I would love to earn everyone's business, but we know that that's not even possible. You need to work with everyone. I have no strings attached to my help, no strings attached to my support. I want you to have it, okay? So reach out to me, give me a call, send me an email, send me your questions. Let's get some answers. Let's get you positioned to make the best decision that you can make about your home buying process, right? All right, let's talk about this. Okay. So the reason I wanted you to go to um, fill out that form, the reason I wanted you to do that is because these are the tools that I want to give you. A red flag credit test, credit report review checklist, right? You pull your credit, get all three zeros in front of you, and then you open up this credit report checklist and you go through your credit report with this checklist, right? Then you take the red flag test and you run your credit report through the red flag test. The red flags that show up need to be addressed. We can talk about how to address them once you have done those things. It's one of the things you can do on your own. Um, And in our first series, when we talked about capacity and capital, we reviewed things like debt, cash flow management, and how to document and track your finance, financial institution checklist. When you go into choose a financial institution, add them to your Rolodex of business partners, you can take them through this checklist, kind of make sure they're kind of meeting your goals. Right? Setting goals work an excellent tool that you can use to set goals as it relates to your finance. A home maintenance worksheet. We got a family budget there that you can document all of your family's Excel sheet, dynamic, and it keeps the totals and you use it throughout the year. These are the things that we want to give to you and to help you help you increase or improve wherever you are financially, financial health as it is today, take wherever that is to the next level and beyond. So hopefully that's been helpful for you. And again, my name is Sean Wilson, Sales Manager for New American Funding. That's my contact information on the screen. And before I let you go, I'm going to talk about the next quarter. The next quarter, we're going to be talking about destination home ownership first things first. It's our first time home buyer series. This first quarter is also a part of that home buying series, so it's actually part one. And then the extra home buying program is going to be coming to you live April, May, and June. The actual home buying piece. We're going to be breaking down the loan program, down payment assistance. We're going to review the full system credit, not as in detail, but we're going to review those again, as well as make sure that you're prepared. We're going to talk about the title process, the closing process, and the fees. The fees. Every time not every time, but I get the question a lot. What are your fees? What are your fees? Right? And so your fees are higher than that lender. So really, what you want to compare when you compare lenders really is what is the lender. Every fee above the lender is a third party cost. Goes to the appraiser, goes to the credit reporting company, goes to the title company, goes to the state or the county or the township where you're buying the house in, and or goes to setting up your escrow. pay your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes as they come due. So those are the kind of, we're going to break all that down because I don't want you to be in the dark. I want you to have to search to make sure what information I give you is correct. I'm going to give you the correct information so no one